as in all the other major areas of export that we have to United States. At 1600 hours, when the president started that press conference, press engagement to announce tariffs on the 2nd of April, should not be disturbed. And that is exactly the principle that was upheld, that Pakistan's competitiveness vis-a-vis our competitor countries and their products would not be disturbed. So the numbers speak for themselves, that better part of the competitors have higher tariffs than Pakistani products have. But in any case, none of our competitors is below us. So there is only Turkey and Egypt which have a lower tariff. And let me tell you, in the interest of full disclosure, because we are a team, we are a community, we work together to enhance bilateral ties between our two countries. Let me tell you why is that, why Turkey and Egypt have lower tariffs. Because the whole premise of this tariff discussion in this administration is that the countries with which United States has a trade deficit, those countries are under discussion. Egypt and Turkey are countries where the United States has a trade surplus. So they have been afforded a different tariff, or which is the base tariff. On for any country, 10% is the base. So actually, Pakistan is just getting 9% above the base level. So that's for easy comprehension, that is what we have negotiated. And we negotiated actually and closed it on the last day of that discussion. So staying back and not coming to Chicago, if I can make a good excuse, that was the reason. So, but having said that, it is good that we are making this appointment, and I could finally come on a day which stands out in the history of Pakistan. The 6th of September is the Defense Day. And just about actually now 4 months back, almost 4 months, on the night between 6th and 7th of May, we were again attacked under a presumptuous pretext, under a false flag. And this is something which is becoming a pattern, and I need your indulgence for a minute or two to explain the context. The context is that each time Pakistan starts facing or resurfacing economically, and for the past at least a year, if not a year and a half, our numbers, our vital signs, our statistics have improved considerably, admirably. And we were in the meeting of our meeting week of World Bank and IMF in April. And let me tell you that it was not just in the meetings which were relevant to Pakistan, it was in the meetings and panels which were not relevant to Pakistan, but general panels. Pakistan was being cited as an example that look at the economic recovery of Pakistan under the IMF program, which they are making by sticking to the program postulates, so as to say. And that is the backdrop of a chorus of appreciation that was being conducted in those days, with the history that I have already mentioned, that India decided to conduct a false flag operation in Pahalgam, and within 10 minutes of that incident taking place in a particularly treacherous terrain, where even by foot, if you were, or by any other means, if you use mules, because there are areas where you don't even have jeep roads, we are told. The nearest police station is 45 minutes distance. But in 10 minutes, an investigation report was filed, and a finger pointed out at Pakistan. And then for about 2 weeks, there was warmongering, there was drum beating by Indian leadership, and more so even, it was not just in terms of hilarious, in terms of war hysteria that was there, but it was farcical comedy that they conducted. Senior retired generals actually dancing on the floor and leveling accusations on Pakistan and demanding attacks and something like that. So in a territory Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir territory, where you have 700,000 armed troops enforcing an occupation, if they cannot guard fully or ensure security, then it is not because of uh, Pakistan or any infiltration, so as to say, across the line of control, which is 230 kilometers away from that particular place of incident or event, where that unfortunate event of killing of 26 innocent lives took place. Pakistan condemned. Pakistan was part of a statement because we are one of the non-permanent seats of the UN Security Council up to the end of 26, starting 1st January of 2025. We condemned in strongest possible terms, but since there was some administrative inefficiency, there were electoral inadequacies with elections in Bihar and UP approaching, in terms of the concerns and problems faced by our government, that has not only made a history out of Pakistan bashing in all of their electoral campaigns, but is actually using Hindutva as a matter of state policy, which has been put into practice. There is no better evidence. Each one of you, if you want, you can travel to India, Delhi tomorrow, go to the National Assembly, the Lok Sabha, and you would see a map of Akhand Bharat, which includes Pakistan. So that is the ambition. That is the idea. It stands out even today in the face of nation states of the world, in the face of international community, trying to discuss, negotiate peace in different parts of the world. It stands out as an expression of intent. So it was based on that intent that false flag operation was conducted, that finger of accusation was leveled, and what happened, that in their arrogance, they forgot who they are contending with. So Pakistan's repeated calls of not to opt for aggression in a nuclear neighborhood was certainly denied, defied, and even maybe construed as a sign of weakness. So there were two lessons taught. The first one on the night between 6th and 7th of May, when 6 of their planes were downed in a beyond visual range, highest ever level witnessed in history of air warfare, with a combination of not just the platforms, but AI, space technology, air warning control systems. So it was a combination of technological combination of platforms which definitely they at least, not if not misunderstood, they underestimated, because they were countering the efficiency or the known proficiency of platforms. At one time, we had 20 of their planes locked. But the deliberate policy was that Pakistan will not be escalatory. We will either attack some platform which crosses either the international border or the line of control, or we would be attacking only those who empty their payload on us. And those 6 emptied their payload on us. So we only downed those, not the other 14, because we did not want it to be escalatory. There are ethics in a nuclear neighborhood in particular, even in wartime, and Pakistan kept those restrictive, restraining, constrained ethics. And it is definitely easier said than done. And in the second episode, when again they started sending drones to Pakistan for about 3 days, this whole thing actually from start to end went on for about 88 hours. So in those 88 hours towards the end, again they started thinking that Pakistan's calls for restraint were signs of weakness. And then they attacked a few of our air bases on the night between late night between 9th and 10th of May. And that is where it was decided that enough is enough. And now perhaps it is being misconstrued as a sign of weakness. And in an operation called Bunyanum Marsus that continued for about 3 hours and 45 minutes or so, 26 of their defense installations, bases, stations from where either we were attacked or that had the capacity to launch attacks. 26 of those were targeted and hit successfully. And then it took place in our part of the world, South Asia. I, being your ambassador to Washington, D.C., I got the receipt here. When at about 9:30ish, she was with me, by the way, at that time, when we received a call in the evening. There had been an earlier call in the afternoon, but that was different. At around 9:30ish or quarter to 10, I received a call, and the exact wording was, because definitely there is a good relation between our neighbor and our host country. So they said that, exact I'm quoting, because I noted it, they are somewhat ready. So some grace was given to them that they are somewhat ready. If you are willing, we can negotiate a ceasefire. So the night, better part of the night, we both stayed awake, but I stayed more awake than she did in trying to broker that peace. And at 7:30 in morning, on the 10th of May, the ceasefire entered into force. Since then, the Indian leadership has continued to deny a US role, but what could have been in the best sort of illustration of a US role, that it was actually announced by the President of the United States himself in a tweet. We are really, really grateful to President Trump for his role in establishment of peace in South Asia. It is certainly in consonance with his expressed desire since the electoral campaign, and more so during the administration, the 6 and 7 months or 7 months of administration that he has been in power, that he wants to leave a legacy of peace everywhere in the world, and there is no better impactful theater than South Asia, because establishment of peace between India and Pakistan, two nuclear-armed neighbors in a nuclear-armed neighborhood where there are even more nuclear-capable states, is going to, even if we were talking about just the two countries, impact 1.7 billion lives. So there is no more impactful peace brokerage anywhere in the world than South Asia. I wanted to take you guys into confidence on the Defense Day that, again, in consonance with the spirit of the Defense Day of September, in which we commemorate September 1965, we have reiterated, re-stamped the authority of our independence, that Pakistan cannot, should not be taken for granted. We are an independent nation state, and we are not likely to be deterred by any maps anywhere in the world, or any maps which are figments of imagination in somebody's minds. Yeah. So we will stay as long as there is blood flowing through the veins of any Pakistani anywhere in the world. Pakistan would be guarded jealously in terms of independence. But the spirit of Bunyanum Marsus is still unfulfilled. Our defense, our independence, our nationhood would only be impregnable if we are economically strong. So it is economic independence which basically dictates, ensures, underwrites, spells out and defines the actual independence, and only then we will be able to guard our ideological and geographical frontiers fully and successfully if we are economically independent. And that is where I seek your teamwork. I am a team player. I am just an ambassador with a tenure. Ambassadors, consul generals, come and leave. You are going to be here. Your generations are going to be here. In the statistics of United States, you're registered as Pakistani Americans. Last time when I was here in 2016 and witnessed an election, President Trump won that election. By the way, each time I am around, he wins the election. So maybe next time, even if I am not here, they would invite me somehow. But in that election, I distinctly remember that a candidate, Bernie Sanders, you all know him, 200 years after his ancestry migrated from Poland, was being referred to as a Polish American. So your generations will stay Pakistani Americans. The identity would be Pakistan. Please do everything that strengthens your identity. That is something that it is the biggest gift that you would be able to bequeath to future generations. Do everything that strengthens your identity. And please, please do nothing that weakens your identity. And we all know what I'm talking about. Do nothing that weakens your identity. If Pakistan and the United States have good relations, the biggest beneficiary would be the Pakistani American community. If relations are strained or go south, the biggest loser would be the Pakistani American community. Ambassadors, consul generals will come and leave. We have tenures. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We will be judged by what we did or what we didn't do, but that wouldn't matter. You are permanently based here. And let me tell you, without any fear of denial, and that's what I have been saying anywhere I have addressed any community, anywhere. I'll say it in both Urdu and English, just to make it unambiguous. And try and dare deny that if you can. None of us would have been sitting here had it not been for Pakistan.
Yes.
हम में से कोई भी आज यहाँ ना बैठा होता अगर पाकिस्तान ना होता। जिसने यहाँ आके जो कुछ भी किया है, अगर वो उस पासपोर्ट पे आया था जिसका रंग सब्ज है, and in a world of homelands and motherlands, माँ का कर्ज तो उतारा ही नहीं जा सकता. It's not possible. और अगर कुछ मसाइल हैं जो नजर आते हैं, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने एक तरक्की याफ्ता दुनिया देखी है, तो उसमें भी यही है कि माँ अगर बिलफर्ज बीमार है तो आप उसे बुरा भला कहेंगे या इलाज करवाना चाहेंगे. I think I mean we are understanding each other. Pakistan is not the perfect place in the world, but Pakistan is perhaps the most resilient nation anywhere in the world. Look at the 78 years. Look at the 78 years, the geography that we are in. It's such a volatile place, and we have survived. Our people have survived. Our agrarian economy has survived. Despite all the difficulties that were calamities that are natural, even now, there are floods in Pakistan that are devastating from north to south. And it has become a pattern that each time in 3-4 years, whatever we put together, it's washed away. We are the most impacted country in terms of the size of population in the world by climate change. All the others above us, 6 or 7, are not that densely populated. So the impact is certainly on Pakistan. We are in the front line of combat against climate like we were in the front line of combat against terrorism. So we have been a frontline state. Our geography lends us that significance. That is why the founder of our nation even before the establishment of Pakistan, said two things. One, Pakistan would be the pivot of the world because he understood the geography where we are in. And there is no power on earth that can undo Pakistan. That's Qaeda. 70, almost 8 decades back. And it stays true till today. A mega country, the world cannot afford anything going wrong with 250 million people. And talking of the 250 million people, currently the 5th most densely populated country in the world, by 2030 will be 4th, in 2 decades will even beat the United States because, like it or not, population growth rate is our most credible statistic. So we'll definitely beat United States to population, and in 2 decades time, look at the past 2 decades of your life. Pata chala? Ke kaise guzre? Nahi pata chala. So if you didn't notice, the last 2 decades passed by, another 2 decades would also pass by, and before you know, and the good relationship between two mega countries of the world, Pakistan and United States, from a futuristic standpoint, is not a luxury, is not a choice, is not a matter of like or dislike. It's an imperative. It's a compulsion. In 2 decades' time, it would be India, China, Pakistan, and United States in that order. So good relations, people-to-people contacts, economically underwritten relations between two mega countries of today and tomorrow is not a matter of choice or not a matter of like or dislike or not or ifs and buts. It should be when, and let's make it happen through a concerted effort. I seek your involvement, each one of you, and those who are not here in this Midwest area under the jurisdiction of our distinguished Consul General. One thing that prompted my visit here was that I wanted to be here before he left, because he is the only Consul General amongst all the four in a community which has likes and dislikes. It's certainly composed of human beings, and they have good ideas, they have likes and dislikes, they have nice remarks and bad remarks. I have not met one single person after coming here, even before coming here, who said anything, even slightly going towards south about him. I wanted to be here to honor him, to recognize that he has really served with distinction, and may Allah bless his ambassadorial assignments now that he is entering the big league. He is going in the region, and regardless of the importance of the country in foreign policy for any country, the region matters the most. हमारे यहाँ पंजाबी में कहते हैं कि रब नेड़े टेक द सुन, so it's that kind of thing. So that is definitely nearer. So he is going to the region, an important part for us in any case, and we all, I think you would all join him and be joining me in not only wishing him well, but let's for all what he has done during this fabulous, illustrious tenure of his, give him a standing ovation. So now I thought I would speak for 2 hours, but I let it go. In the interest of time, but it is not a monologue. So let's start our dialogue starting today. I'll be coming back to Chicago again and again now that I have not only traveled to Chicago, I have traveled by road to make sure that I am familiar with every nook and corner on the way. But let's start something. I mean, कुछ भी आप कहना चाहते हैं, it's a frank discussion, a family affair, no holds barred questions that you may have in mind. As an ambassador, I am responsible. I am accountable to the extent I am accountable in whatever I deal with. So please, today, tomorrow, the day after, but starting today, feel free to discuss anything that you always wanted to discuss with anybody. So share it with me and I'll respond. My wife would vouch for the fact that I am at home at least not responding to many questions. So she certainly would agree to that, that she keeps asking questions that I don't respond to because maybe one excuse that I can present to her in front of everybody is now evident that I only respond when I'm paid for it. So this is what I do for a living. But please.
So Mesa, first of all, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to visit Chicago. I know we've been wanting you to come, and thank you for making the time during Consul General's tenure, because obviously he's well loved by, I think many of us have been here for many, many years. I don't think we find a person that we love more than anybody, right? Yeah. So let's give him another round of applause. So I know when I saw you in the summer, we talked about, and just looking for advice from you, that you see the room here, you see a lot of us, Pakistanis who've been here for a while, but we somehow need to engage our younger generation.
Sure.
We need to involve our children. When you were with us at Open Global, you saw we tried and succeeded at least there, that we did allow lots of younger folks to really do that. So any advice how we can do that here, because I think that's a new generation.
Well, definitely roots are important in a world of motherlands and homelands. So giving your offspring a sense of their roots would be important. As I said, that you will always be registered, mentioned in the US data as Pakistani Americans for the foreseeable future, maybe even beyond. So getting them mainstreamed in the politico-economic sort of fabric of this society and the other societies in the length and breadth of Midwest, where Chicago's, at least the Consul General of Chicago's jurisdiction. By the way, it's the highest number of states that he looks after, 12. 12. So it's the highest number of states for any consulate general. And Midwest and the Bible Belt, we know how important, even from electoral perspective, it has been and it has become certainly, and it's not changing in a hurry. It's likely to stay the same. So, that is the importance, and you're in the middle of America. So in the middle of America, try and mainstream perhaps your offspring through programs, through initiatives, through coming together, organizing whatever open, and organizations like Open keep doing frequently, and whatever the embassy can do to contribute to this. The idea is to put them in the middle of the socio, cultural, economic, political fabric of this country. You are Pakistani Americans for times to come. एक तस्वीर में करना चाहूँगा, ये ख्याल कुछ हमारे बुजुर्गों ने जो मेरी जनरेशन से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं अपने जहन में रखा हुआ है कि उन्होंने शायद पाकिस्तान वापस जाना है. Even if you want to go to Pakistan, your offspring will not want to go to Pakistan. आपके बच्चे नहीं जाएंगे. You can help Pakistan better by staying here.
Correct.
Please try and do that. You are more useful to Pakistan than staying here than you would be. And for the youth, Pakistan is the most youthful country in the world. I think 65% of our population is below the age of 30, and 23 is the median age. So we are the most useful population anywhere in the world, and a large population. So engaging them for future in areas like IT, which are from a futuristic standpoint more significant, increasingly significant, and are going to be further significant with new frontiers like IoT, AI, emerging. I mean, even as we speak, it's at a dizzying pace that that world is moving. So getting the youth here, the Pakistani Americans, and the youth in Pakistan uh, involved, engaged in any of the futuristic efforts and tying these knots, not just the nuptial knots that you frequently visit Pakistan to find for your offspring, but also tying the knots in economic terms, in business terms. आपको जो कुछ भी करना है अपनी यूथ के लिए, अगर बिजनेस में किसी भी चीज़ में, पाकिस्तान से ज़्यादा प्रॉमिसिंग मुल्क इस वक्त नहीं है. मैं सिर्फ एक आपको जो 4 फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में, the most significant and in a densely populated country, in a densely populated world, it's labor. Labor in Pakistan is 174% cheaper than China.
Wow.
174% cheaper than China. So,
Give us 3 options how we can help Pakistan.
3 options.
3 options.
First is, in whatever you do, try and not to in any be mindful of Pakistani identity and not in any way try and damage the bilateral relationship between the two countries. Pak-US relations are more important than any government, any political party. These have to be generational, as I told you, that it carries a generational significance, because we are going to be 2 mega countries. We are 2 mega countries even today, but futuristically we are going to be 2 mega countries. So our relationship should only be strengthened. When I landed, it was not good, not bad, but not looking good. Today, as we speak, this relationship is at least looking as good as it has ever looked. But a word of caution, it's only looking good. We have to make good on it.
Yes.
And that is where your question comes.
Yes.
So 1, the image part. 2nd,
Yes.
the engagement part. In whatever you do, I mean, if you are doing it already, try and have a Pakistan component, a Pakistan element in whichever profession, whichever vocation keeps you busy. So engagement with Pakistan, enhancing engagement with Pakistan, because, I mean, I can understand that because of negative media portrayals that have been customary, at least for the past 2 decades or so, Americans may not feel good about Pakistan. But you go to Pakistan, most of you frequent, you know that there are no bombs blasting in every square, public square. It's still a peaceful country. I mean, people live there, they are smiling, they are healthy, hearty people who have seen a lot over the past 8 decades. But Pakistan today is as promising as it has ever been. So in whatever you do, profit from the promise of Pakistan. Pakistan carries profit. Philanthropic activities, etc. aside, you are doing it. I will even be attending an event in the evening which does it. But there is profit to be made from Pakistan. Engage yourselves and your partners, your associates, your people in your professional stream in lucrative, profitable ventures with Pakistan. The country is now ready for it. Previously, there were problems with consistency of policy, but now it has been institutionalized in the form of Special Investment Facilitation Council, which is going to ensure consistency of policy even across governments. So governments will come and go through the processes, but the policy, the investment climate would be underwritten not just by word of mouth as it has previously been, but in institutional terms. So that is there. And thirdly, I think, and perhaps most significantly, be in touch and stay in touch with the consulate, the embassy. I mean, we are there to serve you. It's part of our mandate. to facilitate your engagement with Pakistan, to facilitate your mainstreaming in the social, cultural fabric of life here, as well as underwrite, steer, handhold, matchmake your efforts to play a role with regard to strengthening of relations between your homeland, United States, and your motherland, Pakistan. So these are the three things that I would leave. I think everything, the rest would be covered under it. It would definitely fall in place on one or the other topic that you may have in mind. And Pakistan is open for investment, mainly is IT because of the youthful configuration of our population. Mines and minerals are certainly important. Energy sector is important. Infrastructure is something that is significant because Pakistan, because of its strategic location, has a connectivity significance in the world which cannot be denied. I mean, anything, I remember the last time we were here, we were invited by Procter and Gamble CEO when I was DCM, and she announced that they are going to set up diapers is their brand, Pampers, plant in Pakistan. So somebody from the media was mischievous. They asked her, there's security situation in Pakistan. How can you establish a diapers plant there? So the CEO replied, well, more children get born in Pakistan than the entire European Union put together. So where do you think we should be establishing that plant? So Pakistan, even today, multinational US companies like Procter and Gamble are producing in Pakistan, exporting to Central Asia. Pepsi is producing in Pakistan, exporting to Gulf. So creating avenues, convincing your counterparts in the business world, for instance, that Pakistan is a connected country. It's just like Mexico. Mexico has continuity with the United States, FTA with the United States. It's been renegotiated, yes, but still it has been there. And it has burgeoning billions of dollars of investment from China, and trade and investment from China. So is Pakistan. Continuity with China, FTA with China, but United States is our largest trading partner. So in terms of joint ventures, the prospect is, and it's nothing new, Procter and Gamble is doing it, Pepsi is doing it, all the others are doing it, that if the product lines which are facing Chinese tariff, if they can be shifted to Pakistan, one, the cost of production will go down. We are even GSP plus with Europe. The quotas we are not able to fully utilize. You can even export to Europe from Pakistan, but exporting to China, the cost of production will go down, the tariff margins would become part of the profit margins. That's how ideally situated Pakistan is. God has gifted us, endowed us with geography, with resources, with possibilities in today's world. I mean, anything, there is liquidity in today's world in two parts of the world, Gulf, GCC, and China. Which country is in between?
Pakistan.
So it's now or never. Yeah, please.
Do you have any data on medical tourism to Pakistan, and do you think that how we can make it better so that people can have a trust in going to Pakistan for medical services can be beneficial to both of us?
Certainly. Well, before landing here, from its establishment till the last day, when I got on a flight and headed for United States on this ambassadorial assignment, I was representing Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan in the SIFC. And under the SIFC auspices, there is a live track in which medical tourism in Pakistan is being explored seriously as an option, not just in big cities, but in the north also, in the areas which are known for their scenic beauty. So in trying to, since we are taking some initiatives, and there are certain pioneering acts in trying to lay out the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure. So having a medical tourism angle in laying out that infrastructure is part of the consideration. And I only had General Sarfraz, who is the national coordinator for SIFC, with me in Washington about a month back. And also I talked frequently to Minister Hassan Iqbal, who is the ministerial head of the executive committee of SIFC. And I understand that a lot of progress has been made in this regard. And we are starting with 4 cities in which medical tourism facilities would be made available. And I have, I think, requested them already for sharing some material, some brochures or some basic idea or the sketch of what is intended to be done and in what time period. But in response to your question, I can assure you that an initiation has been made, but it is being done as part of a larger whole where the infrastructure in Pakistan is likely to be brought in consonance with the connectivity significance that the country has. The youth, we have been talking about you.
Maria?
No, Maria, I think Maria was on.
I think it's time for a woman's house.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, and I appreciate your comments, and of course, I appreciate General Counsel Tariq for his sincerity. We found him to be very sincere, and it's made a big impact. 2 things I want to say. I myself am a legislative attorney here.
Great.
I write laws for the state, I write laws for the federal government as well. And I had visited the White House with a private meeting with Biden, and we specifically talked about many issues, including hate crimes and including Islamophobia and discrimination amongst Muslims, of course, including Pakistanis. So I share your sentiments of the possibilities with the Trump presidency, but it comes with the responsibility for the Pakistani embassy for what's about to also be released onto the Pakistani community and Muslims in this country. Within, specifically within that meeting, I had discussed with the senior advisors the case of Afia Siddiqui. And they had sent Afia Siddiqui's name and file to the White House counsel again and again. And at that time, the position and statement was that it would look bad for the Biden's presidency as he's leaving office. Not that it's not already under so much criticism, but this would only add to it. So my question would be, where does the government stand in speaking with the Trump presidency and the cabinet about the case of Afia Siddiqui? I think it stands out as a physician and a Pakistani woman to be extremely relevant. The other thing I want to say is I appreciate deeply about your comments about cultivating tech and cultivating youth, Pakistani youth towards tech. One thing that I understood clearly and I would love for you to share is that the support of Pakistanis within Pakistan that are contributing to tech need much more support to their Indian counterparts. And the fact is that a lot of these young, especially girls that are into tech in Pakistan, are being pushed towards looking at industries that are only textile based. So when we're looking at AI and we're looking at the future of tech, how can we make sure that the engineers that are being pushed and supported in Pakistan can compete with their Indian counterparts? Because what we see consistently that they're being beat out, and this is consistently a tragedy for Pakistani talent. So the question about obviously the legalities that are about to face the Pakistani community, how is the embassy going to be prepared for that? Because ICE is already prepared to come here in Chicago. It's been in DC, it's been in LA. And then second, the Afia Siddiqui case, and third, obviously, tech support.
Well, in that order, hopefully, I can remember the 3 questions. So, the legalities with regard to Pakistanis becoming part of the drive that is there in terms of the administration's policy. If you look at it, there has been a discussion going on a list of countries that would be subjected to colored order of priority. It was, I think, red, yellow, and orange. I think that's what it was. So, that list has appeared, and there was a lot being said about Pakistan being part of that list. Pakistan is not part of that list, and I would want to suggest humbly that it might have had something to do with the effort of embassies and consulates. So the other thing is that in terms of Afia Siddiqui, Well, Pakistan government has certainly we made a clemency appeal with the outgoing Biden administration that you have already alluded to. And a similar discussion has been made part of the discourse that we have with the Trump administration. So, of course, the content in the interest of the process that we all hope, fingers crossed, would and should be successful, perhaps would better not be divulged, but I can assure you that it has been part of our conversations with the Trump administration, and I don't see it not or being taken out of conversation. There's no reason for it. So it is part of the conversation that we are having. In terms of the youth of Pakistan, well, already Pakistan is third or second or third, given at different times, in the list of countries which have the highest number of IT freelancers anywhere in the world. And they have been doing it for years now, over the past 2 years, a little over 2 years since the SIFC. There has been a deliberate and a conscious effort to support with state infrastructure, legal, physical, financial, to help it. Again, as we speak, the difference between Pakistan and India in terms of IT possibilities and talent is the difference between a country that is branded. India is better branded than we are, but our youth is, if not more, equally capable. And it's not just about India. I'm telling you on strength of statistics. We were discussing it the other day with Consul General and Mr. Saeed Ali sitting here, that we are, compared to any of our competitors' country when it comes to IT, whether it is Egypt, Turkey, India, Philippines, Vietnam, these are the major competitors that we have in terms of IT. Pakistan is 70% cheaper than United States itself, cost effective, not cheaper. I shouldn't be using that word as a diplomat. We are not cheap, we are cost effective. So Pakistan is 70% cost effective when it comes to United States. Pakistan is 20 to 30% cost effective when it comes to any of our competitors' countries, India included. It's just that we have to go about branding it, and for the past year, starting in November, since I have been here, we have launched an IT series. We started with the Silicon Valley, and on the 10th of November. So we have been to Silicon Valley, we have been to Dallas, these are all IT roadshows or IT conferences of Pakistan. We have been to New York and Washington. The next edition would be 3 cities. We'll be going to the Silicon Valley, San Francisco again, being so as to say a tech headquarters, and then we'll be coming to Chicago, and we'll be going to Austin. So that's next. So we will be showing up again and again in the IT sector in Pakistan, and it will hopefully not restricted to any ambassador. The decision has been that Pakistan will be attending more and more events here because this is the biggest market, and our ingress in this market is also likely to leverage ingress elsewhere in the Gulf market, for instance. So this is currently in play. It's already initiated. We have had the first one, as I said, was in San Francisco. The second edition was 3 countries. The third, 3 states or cities. The third one is also going to be in 3 more states, and will continue every 3, 4, 6 months. We normally have tied it up with big tech events, like the next one is tied up with TechCrunch in the Silicon Valley. There was one tied with the Game District Conference, the GDC. So whenever there is a tech event, major tech event, when 20-25 Pakistani major tech outfits are participating in a big event here, we try and utilize their presence and take them to other cities to conduct roadshows.
We have to conclude maybe just one or two short comments.
So,
Young fellow.
Yeah, we have with us the city trader, Melissa. Miss Melissa is a very active, is a great leader, and always attend the community event and consulate event. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, but she's running for Congress also.
City trader.
Yeah, she's a city treasurer, yeah. She has all the money, so you have to respect that.
We treasure your presence.
Melissa.
Good afternoon. I want to first congratulate our Council General. Thank you so much. I understand that you are retiring.
No, he's moving to as ambassador.
Someone told me that he was retiring, and I said that could not be true.
No.
Thank you so much. So you are being promoted. Yes, kind of, that is. But can we give him a hand and we thank him for all the work that he has done? And thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us on today.
We treasure your presence.
Thank you so much. Let me stand in the middle of both of you because this is excellence on today. I would say par excellence. Thank you. And so as stated, I am Melissa Kanyerzervin, and I am currently the city treasurer of Chicago. And the Pakistani community is very important to me personally because if you heard me speak, then you know that there are several members in the community that has helped me along the way. It started with Tariq Malhans, who when I first became treasurer of Chicago, he had retired from the city of Chicago from working as our comptroller, as well as working in the Chicago Treasurer's Office, and I brought him back from retirement to help me as I started my quest for City Treasurer of Chicago. And so I owe him so much gratitude for everything that he has done to help me. And in addition to that, Dr. Tariq Butt is a great help for us and mentor on the west side of Chicago. Healthcare is something that is extremely important because we know that on the west and south sides of Chicago specifically, we are in a healthcare desert when it comes to the needs of the community. So thank you for what you do all the time for us. And thank you both, and to everyone in the room. This is what it is all about. We have to work together. And so I've been committed. I thank you for what you have done to support me. And by the way, yes, I am now running for United States Congress of the 7th Congressional District. Our Congressman Danny Davis has announced his retirement. We thank him for what he has done. But as this young lady said when she said it's time for a woman, it is certainly after 30 years, we believe time for a woman to come in and take on the helm. But we cannot do it without the help of our great men. Thank you so much.
So maybe last question, because we Your Excellency would be here. You can also interact during luncheon meeting because there is another meeting we have to. There would be a
difficult question. A difficult
Mike.
Please go ahead with your difficult question.
First, welcome to Chicago. As a long-term resident of the city, I welcome you. And of course, we want to thank our outgoing CG, who's been great in this community. But the question I have for you is that, I'm a physician scientist, so that's not what I'm going to regale you about. but I also am interested in the works of Muhammad Iqbal, who is actually responsible for the reason you are here and everybody else is here, not just 14th of August. And as the president of the society in Chicago, I have regaled other ambassadors who I thought were not in line with the moral compass that Iqbal gave us. And today I have to ask you directly that are we to gain the world and lose our soul? And that is an issue with Iqbal and the civilizational dialogue with Goethe, and that's a separate question we can discuss about civilization dialogue. But you mentioned PepsiCo, and you mentioned Procter and Gamble. Ask all the young people here, if there are any, that what do they think of Procter and Gamble, and what do they think of PepsiCo? They're on the DDS list. We are struggling to tell the world that this evil has enveloped, and we are helpless. And this is the least we can do. Then we have our respected ambassador tell us that PepsiCo and Procter and Gamble and all that stuff. So
I have got the gist of the question, can I answer?
This is the moral dissonance here.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to address this moral dissonance.
Well, I did not use Procter and Gamble and PepsiCo per se for the reason that you have described. I mean, there are other organizations, MNCs. My basic thrust was multinational corporations, and I used this word, multinational corporations. I just cited Pepsi and Procter and Gamble as examples, but there are others which may not be, in that under that umbrella of controversy that you have alluded to. But it is the basic purpose of the argument is that if one company from United States can engage in a production process benefiting from the facilities, the geography, the low cost of production, the 174% lower cost of labor that I have alluded to, benefit from that in Pakistan, why can't the other American countries, and it's not naming or shaming any of, or faming even, any of the existing companies. It's a point that was generally made that Pakistan offers a profitable promise, possibilities of production, which the existing companies that may be there in the field continue to benefit from. But the idea is to get more people, more joint ventures, more companies in Pakistan that can benefit from the connectivity significance that we already have vis-a-vis, for instance, Central Asia, vis-a-vis the GCC countries, vis-a-vis even the CPAC. We were the country, imagine two top economies of the world not talking to each other had it not been for Pakistan today. We facilitated a diplomatic corridor in early 70s. So we have the same geography, we can now facilitate an economic corridor. But Pakistan, given its geography and its unique geostrategic, geoeconomic significance, offers possibilities of coming together for even likely partners, but even the unlikely partners. That is the argument that is being made. Companies don't matter, their nomenclature or their fame or their track records don't matter. The argument is that Pakistan offers production possibilities with connectivity significance, with significance of programs like GSP Plus scheme with the European Union that we have. I already mentioned that we cannot fully utilize or benefit from the quotas that we have available under the GSP Plus scheme with the European Union. So if there is production conducted through joint ventures in Pakistan, those production lines which benefit from the GSP Plus scheme can also be exported to the EU region. So Pakistan has promise, opportunity, and that should be profited from. That's the argument.
Yeah.
30 सेकंड चाहिए. मैं पाकिस्तान का हीरो हूँ, रेसिपेंट हूँ अभी अवार्ड का. 30 सेकंड ओनली.
चलो बस
सर
30
जी, मेरा नाम सर आबिद लाशारी है. मैं नवाबशाह से हूँ, सिंध से. और आपने जिससे कहा सर माँ का कोई कर्जा नहीं उतार सकता, मैं भी अपनी माँ का कर्जा नहीं उतार सकता. उन्होंने मुझे रिहेबिलिटेट किया. बचपन में दोनों हाथ मेरे जल गए. आप देख रहे हैं ये 2 उंगलियां सिर्फ मेरे. मैं पूरा रिहेबिलिटेट हुआ मेरी माँ की वजह से. मेरी माँ पढ़ी हुई लिखी हुई नहीं है और ना ही थेरापिस्ट है. उसने साबित किया वो पाकिस्तान की सबसे बड़ी या दुनिया की बड़ी थेरापिस्ट हैं जिन्होंने मुझे रिहेबिलिटेट किया. अल्लाह का शुक्र है सर, मैं सब अपने काम काज कर सकता हूँ. अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे चूज़ किया कि मुझे रिहेबिलिटेशन करनी है. डाउन सिंड्रोम बच्चों की, ऑटिज़म के बच्चों की और उसके ADHD, इन बच्चों के हवाले से अल्लाह ताला ने हमें एक मौका दिया. माजूर बच्चों की एक तंजीम बनाई पाकिस्तान में, नेशनल डिसेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट फोरम. वो सर आज 5 रिहेबिलिटेशन सेंटर हम चला रहे हैं. कराची में, गुलिस्तान जोहर में, गुलशन हदीद में, नवाबशाह, लाड़काना, हैदराबाद में 500 से ज़्यादा बच्चे जिनको मैं फ्री रिहेबिलिटेशन सर्विस देता हूँ. सर ये जो थेरापीज़ हैं, फिजियोथेरापी, साइकोथेरापी, स्पीच थेरापी, 10 साल तक चाहिए बच्चे को सर. ये बहुत महंगी है हमारे पाकिस्तान में. एक सेशन 2500 से 5000 का है. अगर 4 थेरेपी चाहिए तो 20,000 पर दिन चाहिए. सर हम फ्री देते हैं विद सपोर्ट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान. और पाकिस्तान हुकूमत ने सर मुझ पे एतमाद किया, मेरी सर्विस को एक्नॉलेज किया और सिंध हुकूमत ने सिफारिश किया. अब मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ पाकिस्तान हुकूमत का जिन्होंने मुझे पाकिस्तान सिविल अवार्ड तमगा इम्तियाज से नवाजा है. और सर हमें ये जो कम्युनिटी बैठी है मौका नहीं मिलता मिलने का. मैं शिकागो में मैंने 51C में अपना इदारा NDF को यहाँ रजिस्टर करवा लिया है. उसके साथ साथ सर हम चाहते हैं पाकिस्तान और अमेरिकन जो कम्युनिटी है, हमारे जहनी माजूर बच्चों की आप लोग की तवज्जो चाहिए कि आप और हम मिलकर ही काम कर सकते हैं. मैं अकेला कुछ नहीं कर सकता. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. थैंक यू सर सईद साहब, रिजवान सईद साहब और सईद अहमद साहब जो बैठे हैं, आप लोगों ने मौका दिया. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. थैंक यू सर.
Sir, can we take one question from the young boy?
Young generation.
if it could be just 10 seconds. We are running out of time. Thank you.
So the question is that obviously I'm a high school. I'm part of the youth. Alhamdulillah उर्दू बोलना आती है, ये सब चीज़ें आती हैं मुझे. और
उर्दू में बोलो फिर मैं भी उर्दू में बोलूँ.
ठीक है, उर्दू में बोलूँ, उर्दू में. असल में हमारी जो पाकिस्तानियत है वो आजकल कम होती जा रही है. जैसे these ethnic groups जो पाकिस्तान में सिंधी है या पंजाबी है या कुछ भी है, हम अपनी पाकिस्तानियत भूलते जा रहे हैं. क्या इस चांद का या सितारा का या ये जो सफ़ेद या ग्रीन चीज़ की जो फ्लैग में लगी हुई हैं चीज़ें, ये सब हम चीज़ भूलते जाते हैं. और अपनी जो जनरेशन है अमेरिका में, हम अपने क्या बोलते हैं फैमिलीज़ जो भी पेरेंट्स हैं कुछ भी हैं, वो अपने बच्चों को सिखाते नहीं हैं कि पाकिस्तान क्या है, पाकिस्तान क्या नहीं है, उर्दू क्या है. आई हैव सो मेनी फ्रेंड्स, कितने दोस्त हैं मेरे पास जिन लोगों को उर्दू बोलने भी नहीं आती. द इशू इज़ दैट हम जो हैं अपनी कम्युनिटी को और अपनी सोसाइटी को, अपने माशरे को कभी भी आगे लेके नहीं जाना चाहते हैं. जैसे सिखाना नहीं चाहते हैं इस जनरेशन को कि पाकिस्तानियत क्या है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे 47 के बाद सब पाकिस्तान बने, पाकिस्तानी बने. सिंधी नहीं बने, पंजाबी नहीं बने, पख्तून नहीं बने, मगर पाकिस्तानी बने. और आपने जैसे कहा था कि जहाँ भी ग्रीन पासपोर्ट जाता है वो इट्स अ सिंबल ऑफ यू बीइंग अ पाकिस्तानी. एंड सो हाउ हम एज अ पाकिस्तानी एंड मी एज अ अमेरिकन टू, हम अपने न्यू जनरेशन को कैसे फोर्स या सिखाएं क्या हमारी पाकिस्तानियत क्या है, हमारी इस्लामियत क्या है, और हम इन लोगों को सिखाएं कैसे. थैंक यू.
देखो बेटा, एक तो तुम तो कहाँ से सीखे हुए लग रहे हो मुझे. ठीक है, अच्छा तुम्हारी उर्दू भी अच्छी है और तुमने एक आध दफ़ा अंग्रेजी का लफ्ज़ बोला भी सोसाइटी, तो उसके बाद उसको माशरे में तब्दील कर दिया खुद. तो अगर तुम्हारे वालिदैन ने तुम्हारी तरबियत की है इस तरह कि तुम्हें अपनी ज़ुबान से न सिर्फ उस जगह से जहाँ से तुम्हारे वालिदैन आए हैं और उन्होंने यहाँ पे तुम्हारी परवरिश की है, अगर उस जगह से तुम्हारी वाबस्तगी कायम रखी है, तो फिर वही जो कुछ उन्होंने किया है वही बाकियों को अपनाना है. ठीक है. एक मुझे अक्सर याद रहता है, मैं को अब 10 जगह पढ़ चुका हूँ, इट्स बिकम क्लीशेड विद मी, बट have a sense of pride in Pakistan. پاکستان کے اندر اپنی روٹس کے اندر جہاں سے تم ہو, جس جگہ سے تمہارا خمیر اٹھا ہے, یہ تو ملک بنا ہی مختلف ممالک سے آئے ہوئے لوگوں سے ہے نا. تو یہاں پہ اٹالین بھی ہیں, اطالوی امریکی ہیں, یہاں اور بھی قومیتوں کے لوگ ہیں, اور بھی ملکوں سے آئے ہوئے لوگ ہیں. تو اپنی پہچان کے اوپر فخر کرتے رہنا جو ہے وہ, اور پہلے تو پہچاننا کہ ہے کیا, اور پھر ڈونٹ بی ashamed of being son of or the offspring of a Pakistani American, but take pride in it. جو ملک ہمیں ملا ہے, میں بتا رہا ہوں, مطلب I've been saying for the entire afternoon کہ کچھ ایسا رہا نہیں ہے جو 78 سالوں میں ہمارے ساتھ نہ ہوا ہو, لیکن پاکستان آج بھی قائم اور قائم ہے, اور اب اوپر کی طرف دیکھ رہا ہے. مطلب اٹس لوکنگ اپ, تھنگز آر لوکنگ اپ. ہر چیز جو ہے اس کے اندر ایک خوش آئندگی ہے پاکستان میں. تو میرا خیال ہے ویسے بھی آخری ہے, تو آخری ہمارے یہاں بڑا وہ جو ہماری اس قسم کی تقریبات ہوتی ہیں نا, اس میں اس چیز کو بڑا اہم سمجھا جاتا ہے نا کہ آخر میں کوئی شعر ویر سنا کے سب کو امپریس کر دیں. تو آئی ووڈ ناٹ مس دس اپرچونیٹی. ٹھیک ہے, تو تمہیں بھی اس شعر سے سمجھ آ جائے گی جو بات میں کہہ رہا ہوں کہ کیا ہاؤ ٹو فیل اباؤٹ پاکستان. ٹھیک, یہ ایک شاعرہ ہیں, ان کی ڈیتھ ہو گئی ہے, بڑی مشہور تھی, پروین شاکر. ان کے شعر ہیں تینوں, وہ ہیں بخت سے کوئی شکایت نہیں افلاک سے ہے. سمجھ آئی؟ بخت سے کوئی شکایت نہیں افلاک سے ہے, یہی کیا کم ہے کہ نسبت مجھے اس خاک سے ہے. ٹھیک ہے, اور پھر اگلا ہے کہ خواب میں بھی, اب یہ آپ لوگوں کے لیے کہ یو آر فرام پاکستان, خواب میں بھی تجھے بھولوں تو روا رکھ مجھ سے, خواب میں بھی تجھے بھولوں تو روا رکھ مجھ سے, وہ رویہ جو ہوا کا خس و خاشاک سے ہے. ٹھیک ہے, that is for your generation and for everybody here who has made it big in United States including myself. یہ آخری جو ہے شعر وہ اس کے لیے وہ یہ ہے کہ بزم انجم میں قبا خاک کی پہنی میں نے. I am representing Pakistan here. We are all representing Pakistan here as Pakistani Americans, and I delegate full powers of ambassador to each one of you, and let's team up for Pakistan. Let's work together. So بزم انجم میں قبا خاک کی پہنی میں نے. سمجھ آ گئی یہ بات؟ بزم انجم میں قبا خاک کی پہنی میں نے, اور میری ساری فضیلت اسی پوشاک سے. Impressed?
Thank you so
جدو کہو گے ادھر آ جاؤ.